and risk management. Mr. Abdullah. Mr. Badr Al-Utabi.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we'll start with you since Abdullah is a little busy. Uh, so I will introduce you.
Okay.
So, yes. So we will go now with Badr Al-Utabi from Saudi Chevron to speak about enhancing, fostering accuracy through advanced material data analysis. The stage is yours, Mr. Badr.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Majid, and we appreciate you. As you see in the subject that we are discussing about the enhancing forecasting accuracy through advanced material data analysis. As you know, that every company and or every organization, they are sometimes facing a problem and difficulty to forecast their needs, which is I mean that which is there is something homework at their side. They have to do it through data analysis and needs in order to be equal from the situation of supply chain with other. We are hearing always that there is a problem in supply chain situation, and there is a problem with the lead time and the shipment, which is sometimes not right because we are not doing our homework internally by right way. What I mean is that we have to have a right data and right needs with the all information before we are floated for procurement or floated to the supply chain. Always, we don't need to blame the supply chain situation because we are, as an organization, equal from the supply chain. I will give example before we go to the next slide. If the two customer, they are required to, for example, iPhone, one of customer, they are giving all details of the device. They need iPhone 15 to 512 black Pro Max. They will be from the supply chain different than who is having request with the iPhone black. The negotiation after the floating the procurement or PO, purchase order, it will be different. The first guy who's giving the full specification and full data of needs, they will take it shortly within the lead time, and they will be the same with the others who's having the full data. And same time, the other one who don't have the full description, they will face a problem during the negotiation. The supplier, they will ask and they will say which kind of item, and they will go back for SME or the end user to make the clarification. First one, maybe they will take the order with the period with 30 days, but the other one, they will take it with 30 days plus a negotiation time, which is maybe 15 days. It means 45 days. This is, we have to mention and put our finger to the problem and say we have to evaluate our data necessary. How we can evaluate our data? By data quality parameters. Completeness means there is any missing of data, conformity, and there is a data stored, it's not standard format. Sometimes always we have a duplicate. What we means by duplicate means we have two items with the same specification. The two items raised by a BR and a BO, which it will be held on the supply chain. At the same time, if we are merging the duplicate to one item, maybe we have one demand, and we have also a one purchase order, one negotiation, one specification. Instead that if we are not merging the duplication or the error in our data, will be have a difficulty to control this, and sometimes it will be hide not front our eyes. Integrity. What we mean integrity? The data it's integrated. The data with the other data or with the needs, it will be give us integrated. How we can build integrated? We have a full description. We have a price estimation. We have a unit of measure of used or of the procure. This is what means by, for example, this is integrated. Accuracy, what we need exactly, what we need before we go to the market. Sometimes the end user, they have a fog of their needs. They don't know what they need. They have to be clear, having a clear scope for the services and clear data for a material. After we passing this parameters, we are make sure that this will be in 50% of our problem will be solved. What we are meaning by material management? There is a cycle, as you see in the slide. The cycle, the material management start with the cataloging. What we mean the cataloging? Material category. What kind of material? It is chemical. It is spare part. It is services. What we are meaning by material? Name of the product or service provider who can help me in this service, and which kind of a product name I needed. The description. Sometimes we are doing this description short, which is not understood by others. If we are, for example, in a Middle East, and we send the description to Europe or to US or to China or Japanese, we have to have a type of description which is a standard for all. Also in catalog, during cataloging, we need to know the sources, our sources selection, how many sources we can have in this category. We have to have open for the all sources in order to be not in a problem if we have a one source. As you know, that's a one source. That means it will be difficulty to continue the services during any urgency. Prices during cataloging, we have to have a price in order to build the budget for these services or item. The second, as you see, data analysis. After we complete the cataloging, which is first step from the cycle, we have to build the cycle. Yes, we have all the data, all category and name of product and description, sources, price. We need to know criticality of the item to the services, value of the item, movement of the item. Is it fast move or non-move or slow move? Criticality, it is very critical to the plant or to our product, or semi-critical, or it's not critical. Also the value of the item in order to take all the acceptance or approval due to the delegation of authority of the PRs or BO. After we complete the data analysis, the inventory control, they will build the min and max and ROB, which is named by reorder point. Also, it will be will be planning, MRP, material review planning. Also, it will help for to build economic order quantity. All the data during analysis and cataloging, it will help in economic order quantity. Also, the inventory control, they will build the demand based on the data analysis and cataloging. And if we complete this 3 cycles, still we have to evaluate and monitor. Evaluate and monitor. Yes, we are putting our experience in data cataloging, our investment of expert people in cataloging and data analysis and controlling, but still we have to evaluate and monitor. Yes, we are trusting our expert, but we have to, at the same time, monitor. How you can evaluate and monitor material or services. Due to material, we can evaluate with OOS, out of stock and material. How many we have outage of stock? How many we are 0 or below the minimum in stock? That means we have to re-evaluate data analysis and inventory again to build it to not come again to OOS. Turnover on inventory, how many times this item go out from the stock, and we have to evaluate it good. A KPI, good receive, good issue, inspection KPI of the material, how many times this item it's going with rejection. Sometimes the management, they are asking a report of the out of stock and at the same time the rejection, because this gives us the efficiency of the material management. We are having a team that's called IAC, Integrated Advanced Classification. We are building classification to cover criticality and the movement of item and the value of item, and we recall it by AIC criticality. Means who's using this new classification will cover the 3 criticality of item, and also they will cover a movement of item, and also again they will cover a value of item. This is the all. Anybody need to contact IAC team. I am the owner I am a team member of IAC team, integrated of advanced classification. This is our communication email and a WhatsApp. That's it, Abdul Majid. That's what I have in this session. Abdul Majid, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Badr. Thank you. It was insightful presentation from your side. And now we will receive the Q&A at the end, if there is any. Now let us move with the second speaker in the last session with Mr. Abdullah Muhammad, the trainer and consultant, to speak about the warehouse safety and risk management.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله، مساكم الله بالخير. آسف يا عبد المجيد، تأخرت قبل شوية، كنت مشغول أذكر بدر عشان يبدأ بدري، فطلعت أنا اللي مفروض أبدأ، فعذرا يعني.
يعطيك العافية، تفضل.
بسم الله
الرحمن الرحيم. عبد الله أنت أستاذ، معلش أنت أستاذنا عبد الله.
الله يعطيك عشان كلمة تقول ما أبدأ.
No, Mr. Abdullah is my manager before سابق, and he's our expert and
عشان لا تقول أبدأ بدري قبلك، أنت بدأت قبلي خلاص الحين واحدة بواحدة. الله يعطيك العافية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you very much for inviting me for this conference, very insightful speakers. It is not easy for me to come in the end while so many good speakers, excellent speakers yesterday and today. I have learned a lot of them. What we are going to talk this is warehouse safety and risk assessment. Before we talk on risk assessment, we need to know why we need safety in the warehouse, or what is the thing that we are supposed to talk about it in warehouse safety. We should talk about employee training. So we need to have a very excellent training program for all the warehouse staff to ensure that they understand the safety procedure, equipment, operation, and the emergency procedure of the area or the company which they belong to. Second, we need to look for the personal protective equipment, mandated PPEs, helmets, government. It's all, as they say, from head to toes, full coverage of the worker. Number 3 is the equipment safety, which we have to have the usual inspection of and maintaining with materials, equipments such as forklift, conveyor belts, pallet jacks, to ensure that they are in the proper condition all the time, and implement at the same time the safety feature on equipment such as fire alarms, lights, sensor, warning, to have it ready and clear for all. Number 4 is the materials handling, to train the people on how to use them, how to lift techniques so they don't damage their back or their muscles tearing. It's also important on the manual handling, and establish also clear guidelines for the stacking, organizing of the material to prevent collapsing of the material in case of any shaking or hit by small forklift. And number 5 of warehouse safety also is the emergency preparedness, which is developing the and communicate the emergency evacuation plan that you should have. Location of the emergency exits, assembly points, procedures, how to report an incident to the management. Also, the fire safety is by installing the detection system, such alarms or sensors, and conduct regular drills frequently to ensure that they are working in the proper condition. Also, this for fire safety as well is installing, storing the flammable materials in a proper place, in the place which should be segregated, insulated, also isolated from danger, from flames, and so on. From warehouse safety, also housekeeping, very important to remove all the dust, all the measures, or anything which could make a fire or slippery of the people. Proper dispose of the waste materials, spillage, waste also in a proper disposal, as per the proper disposal procedure. And lastly is the security measures, by implementing access control measures to prevent unauthorized personnel from entering the warehouse, by installing surveillance cameras and other security system sensors, also to prevent theft and monitor in the same time all the activity in the warehouse. We will go next to the warehouse risk assessment. We need to have the risks that we talk about it in the warehouse, and we need to manage it. How to manage the warehouse risk is, first we need to make a risk assessment of the warehouse, which it is a systematic. When we say systematic, it is a procedure that we need to follow step by step Step number 3 cannot be before 2. It has to be 1, 2, 3 until the end. What is risk assessment? It is to identify the risk in the warehouse, assessing the risk, mitigating the risk that we have with a proper operation or procedure in the warehouse. Proper risk management in anywhere is very crucial to ensure that the safety and personnel is protecting the people, protecting the assets, and maintain a very nice and continuing safe operation. Step number 1 of the risk management is the risk identification. First, to manage the risk, to remove the risk, to minimize the risk, we need to know what is the risk. This is the risk identification. It's by physical risk. What is the physical risk that evaluated? A potential hazard like a fire, a structure damage, forklift, all the equipment that we have in our area on the warehouse. We need to identify. Or operation risk, risk related to inventory management, order fulfillment, and supply chain disruption. This is also a risk in the warehouse operation. We need to find a security risks, assess like destruction and unauthorized access. People may take the material, theft, or stealing the material. This is also a great risk in our warehouse area. And number 4 risk is the environmental risk, which consider that like a climate, a high disaster, environment regulation that could impact our warehouse. So we need to have a team go around the warehouse, find out all those risks. Step number 2, after we find out what those risks, we need to have evaluation of those in terms of quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis. How much risk we have and how much each risk could damage our warehouse operation area. Then step number 3 on the risk assessment is the prioritization by ranking each risk based on their, what do we call it in the risk matrix, likelihood. What is the likelihood? It could happen in our warehouse. Yes. If yes, what is the severity of each risk? Is it high? Yes, fire could happen, but it is a serious fire. It's a big fire. Is the explosion? How big the explosion, and so on. If it injury of somebody, how big the injury? Is it a serious injury? It is a death injury, or it is a minor injury. So this is the qualitative and quantitative analysis. Number 3, which is the, now we know the risk, we know how much it could happen, how much they can damage in our warehouse operation. Now we need to go to the risk mitigation. Risk mitigation is the physical security measure. What we should do. For example, if it, security measures, we need to install a camera. We need to have an access control. We need to hire a security people. We need to have, for example, adequate lights in some places to prevent unauthorized people from going inside our warehouse. Or it is a fire. We need prevention measures, conduct inspections, training, drills. What are the things that we need to stop fire from appearing in our warehouse? Safety training, also providing training, procedures, protocol, equipment, emergency procedures. All those should be happening. Why? Because the mitigation is the action that you need to do it if you cannot stop the emergency. If you cannot stop emergency at all, then you need to see what can you do to make it. Also, if the risk that we have is by the supply chain diversification. So that means we need to reduce the impact of the disruption by different suppliers, have as many suppliers as we know. In case of other supplier did not come, which is a risk for us, how bad the risk is, we need to know. then we need to have different supplier. In case the supplier did not come, we need to see what we can do. Evergreen, when it comes on Suez Canal, this is a great risk for the whole world. What is the mitigation? We need to find out earlier what other thing. We have another place to have our ship comes or take it by air or and so on. Number 5 of the mitigation is the insurance coverage. In case of this, all of them did not work, then we have to have an advance a very comprehensive insurance coverage to mitigate financial risk in case if we lost the our material, we lost the contract of supplying the material, then it is a risk. Then we need to have an insurance in advance to have this one. Covering our financial loss in this case. Step number 5 is the emergency preparedness, which is developing a regular, updated procedure, responding plan for scenarios that we may have. Even if the scenario is not there, we need to have, including fire, disaster, financial, environment, and so on. Number 5 is the regulatory compliance. We have to have the regulating compliance very important in our warehouse. Like we stay informed about complying with the local or with the state or with the government or with the international, with the OSHA, with the NEBOSH, which we belong to them. We need to know what is the regular procedure that we must have our operation, warehouse, and safety and environment standard, follow those. So this is another very important one to have our warehouse risk minimized. Number 6 on risk management is to have a continuous monitoring and implementation. Improvement, in implementing the risk management, we need to have a continuous monitoring. It's not only one time. We need to have to make sure, are we still in the same standard or no? And improve. If we reach to some standard, can we improve more and more to have our standard, our safety standard higher and higher by reviewing the updated risk assessment, ensuring the people culture improvement, employee training, empowering the reports of the employee, and so on. Technology integration is very important, and it's a very high risk in some places, which we need to utilize the technology that have updated in the whole world, like WMS, which is the warehouse management system, see the operation control, visibility, and so on. And lastly is the data security. We have to have, by implementing the technology, is to have our data in the warehouse always protected for inventory, for our customers and supplier from cyber threats, if so on. Cyber threats is becoming a high risk in all the world, and warehouse will be one of them, of course. Effective warehouse management, it is a routine process that required collaboration, communication, and proactive approach to addressing a potential threats and weakness. We have to have a regular audit, training programs continuously, and updating a safety procedure and protocol. We have to have essential components of a strong risk management strategy to have it clear and updated all the way. In the end, we will see the risk management matrix, which you may see it at any, your area. We need to see that they are, for example, from 1 to 1. This is the risk matrix that you can see at any place, in banking, in operation, in maintenance, warehousing. This is the one. It is 1 to 5. From here, that means ranking for likelihood from 1 to 5. 1 is very extremely unlikely that it will not come, and 5, it will be certainly it will happen. From 1 to 5 and the other Y, it is the severity. How severe, if this happened here, then how severe is the risk? Is it 1, which is insignificant, or it is 5, which is have a very high? So usually, if you are going to have 4, which I mean 1 to 5, usually, which is the green one, usually it is a low risk. Still very important. What will be the department will take care of? I mean, they must repair the risk and remove it, monitor it, mitigation, completing, and they monitor it all the year. If it within, for example, 6 to 10, for example, which is a yellow flag, this one is a less, is a higher risk than the green one, which is the higher management. Usually it will take care. But if the risk is more than 12, morely, then the highest rank of the management, it will be the president, the manager, whoever. The highest rank is the one responsible to follow the risk assessment, removing the risk, mitigation properly removed, and so on. And this is what you call, what you can see here. 0 to 5 is very low, as we can see. This risk matrix that you can see is internationally there. Some of them I can see it 1 to 4, but normally like more than 90% you can see it with 1 to 5 and the likelihood, and 1 to 5 and the severity. We need to have a risk in everywhere in your life, in your house, in your car. What is the risk? Then you have to remove the risk is number 1, remove it. Number 2 is mitigation. Mitigation is a lower, usually a plan for every organization, but you have to live with it, but with a very important and a procedure that you need to follow to make sure that this risk is not available or it is not dangerous for our warehouse. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Thank you very much, Badr. We will have, there is one question from Mazen Osman. What is the simple and easy way to use the warehouse management software we can start working with? So he's asking about software.
This is for Badr?
For you or Badr?
Can you start Badr for warehouse, WMS or SAP?
Thank you, Abu Bassam, for this speak. Regarding the software, it will be demand of the budget of the organization. The budget, it will control the needs, and it will control you from the market. But we are recommending to have a ERP system which cover all the data inside the ERP system. Try to be all the data be controlled inside the ERP system. For example, cataloging, it's need to be in the ERP system. Data analysis, it will have to be an ERP system. And material inventory control, it has to be inside the ERP system. Do not take any software which is need to have a support from outside of the ERP system. There is many ERP system, it's not covering by all 4 cycles. I think I covered.
Yes, this is correct. It is how much your material, you are right, Abu Khalid, how much your material worth, how much you can spend. And the best one, as Ustad Badr says, is a very integrated system, which is not very expensive. It doesn't have to be very expensive like SAP or Oracle. It doesn't have to be very, but depends that your system is integrated, that anyone on the end of supply chain, he need to know what other people are doing. This is the integrated system that we need to have it in our warehouses around the globe. We don't buy cheap one, then your system will be cheap in the end of the way.
Thank you very much, Abdullah and Badr. We reach now to the end of session number 3 since there is no further question. Abdurrahman Abdalhan, the CEO of Elite, the stage is yours.
Shukran, Abdul Majid. Thank you very much for everyone. Really, we were very happy with the 2 days conference. There was a lot of very good presentation. I think good questions, answers, and it showed that how much is warehouse and inventory management is very important. It's part of the operation. And as Gulf Forum and ECS, we will continue doing such conferences, workshops, and we will be ready to receive any support from your side, either through request to do the same or training. And thank you very much again, and hope inshallah to see you all next conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. See you again.